So, Dr. Carl Frampton, how are you?
I'm all right, not bad.
Talk us through this doctorate then.
So I just got asked, would I like to receive an honorary doctorate from Queen's University in Belfast, and I said, of course, obviously. It's always nice to be recognised anywhere, really, but to be recognised and feel like I'm appreciated in my home city, it's nice. And it was a good day. It's a nice day for my family. Mum, dad, my old amateur coach Billy McKee was there as well, so it was really nice.
Excellent. And how has it been back in the gym environment, more
It's
importantly?
Right. It's not too bad. What are you talking about, the doctorate? Like getting the piss taken out of me? Or,
well, I'm sure that happened as well.
Yeah, no, look, it's good. Jamie got an honorary degree, I think. So my doctorate trumps it, and he got it in the university as well. I got it in the good university. But no, it's been good. It's been good to see the boys and train away and working hard, and I love this environment. Like I love being here with the lads.
Yeah, I mean, I came in here a few weeks back. You weren't here, and someone has suggested that when you first came back, you weren't exactly at fighting weight. Is that fair?
No, I was a bit heavy. Who suggested that?
Nobody.
Stevie Ward, 100% said.
No, it wasn't. No, I can't.
He's got issues with his weight, that big lad. He's always talking about his weight. He's like definitely got a few issues with it. But who is it? Their weight 12 weeks out from a fight, like, you know what I mean? That's my defence. So I'm getting closer now.
And I spoke to Jamie, they were joking aside, and he thinks you're actually in better nick than you were before the Josh Warrington fight.
I'm just sharper, I know, and I knew things had to change, and from that last performance, I feel like the camp went well with Warrington, but I'm just really focused now on, using my feet and being more reactive and sharp, and I've been really working on my nutrition and getting the weight down steady rather than, well, I've done the weight well the last time as well, but everything has been going very, very smoothly, and not that I wasn't living like a professional athlete before, but I've been really focused on just doing everything right this time.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point after that Josh Warrington fight, particularly when I saw you directly afterwards, that you didn't think you'd be back here. I don't think you thought you'd be back here.
Like for probably a week, 10 days at least after the fight, I was a retired fighter in my head, and I was kind of going through the statement that I was going to make about retiring, what I was going to say and stuff, but I didn't want to rush into anything and make a knee-jerk reaction, and that's, even though I felt it, I never actually said it, like I was going to retire, and I was conscious of that in the changing room and stuff. But look, I thought that was going to be the end for a while, and then I kind of just thought about it, and I was like, I don't want to finish like that. I don't want to be remembered for that fight, the Josh Warrington defeat, and I want to get back. I want to be a world champion again, and I've got the opportunity to do that, I think, with this deal with Top Rank.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think, obviously, the podcast you do, Jamie, there's quite an emotional one with Jamie and Tommy Coyle last week. And Jamie was advising Tommy to quit. I mean, that's a different scenario, I know, but I think in this case, he thinks you made the right decision because you haven't got too many miles on the clock.
No, like I haven't been in loads of wars. I've been in good, exciting fights. Warrington was a tough fight. The Santa Cruz fights were hard and pretty physical, but he's not like the biggest puncher in the world. I don't think them fights took a lot out of me, even though they're very competitive and good. So, apart from the Warrington fight, I haven't really been in wars. I've kind of reduced the number of rounds in sparring as well, so I'm not having gym wars constantly like I used to have. So I've got plenty left.
You seemed pretty decent in sparring today, though. Didn't look like you were holding too much back.
No, I'm just on it. Like I'm relaxed and not trying to force things and being, I'm using my feet and trying to be reactive and get the old. I hate speaking about myself in the third person, but get the old Carl Frampton back.
Listen, I just want to take, before we move on a bit, back to the Warrington fight briefly, because obviously, it was a big fight. It was quite a big shock for a lot of people. I know you and Jamie have watched it back. How painful was that?
I needed to watch it back. I was glad I'd done it the way I did. I watched it with Jamie for the first time on that podcast, and I'm glad I'd done it like that. I needed to do it. If I hadn't have done that, like the people at Joe and the podcast, they asked me to do that It was going to be a good show. If I hadn't have done it, I may still have never watched the fight back, you know what I mean? So I'm glad I'd done it. And I was annoyed just because of the performance, and I could see things that I was doing wrong, and there was real simple mistakes, and obviously he won the first 3 rounds big. There was a few rounds after that then when I started to come back into the fight, and then there was another few rounds where I kind of could have won the round. There were close rounds, and he stole them at the end as well. So there was things I can change that I think could flip that result on its head. No, I don't want to do a disservice to Josh because he won the fight pretty convincingly in my eyes. I was the first to admit it and say I was well beat after it, and I was watching it back. I was well beat, but I still think that I'm better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably weren't expected to get in such a firefight so quickly,
no,
were you?
absolutely not. And I knew it was going to be physical. I knew he was very fit, very tough, strong, and a big featherweight. I did underestimate his punching power, and he nailed me in the first round, and he nailed me in the second round, and yeah, he can punch. I've never been shook like that in my life.
Yeah, you're visibly, you know, I thought you were going to go at one stage.
I've never been hit like that in my life, and you know, not trying to make excuses, but where's the evidence to suggest that Josh Warrington is a puncher when you look at his record? You know what I mean? I think he's got 6 knockouts, something like that. But I'm telling you, I know firsthand he can definitely punch.
Well, I mean, I think Kid Galahad, you probably did him a bit of a favour because the way he boxed against Josh Warrington had Josh in a bit of trouble. I mean, there's some people saying that Josh should have lost that.
No, I don't think he lost the fight. I think he won the fight. I think that Kid Galahad was trying to steal rounds, pot shot in his way, you know, typical Engel-style performance. And Kid Galahad would have been an absolutely world-class amateur, but it's like a really good amateur style, you know, pot shot, hold on, move around. But I think that Josh won the fight, and I was scoring a lot of the rounds were close, but I was scoring the rounds to him because of his aggressiveness.
He's a bit busier.
And he's a bit busier, and I know he was missing a lot, but he was hitting arms and stuff, and Galahad was, you know, scoring one shot and holding on. Probably should have had points deducted, not maybe more than once, and I still think Josh won the fight, but it's going to be scrappy against Kid Galahad anytime you fight him.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's no love lost between you and Kid Galahad. I mean, more so than him and Josh when I spoke to him. But anyway, that's by the by. But it could be that at some point you end up fighting him. You never know.
Potentially, who knows? At this stage of my career, I'm just going to take one fight at a time, and I've got Emmanuel Dominguez as the next guy, and I'll see how I perform there, and just reevaluate things after that performance.
Yeah, what do you know about this guy you're fighting next?
He's a good fighter, tall, 5'9", good Mexican style, punches long, punches well to the body. He lost to Josh Gill pretty convincingly, but I think it's probably one of them cases of guy flies in from Mexico the day before the weigh-in. It could have been, I'm not sure, but I'll not be taking him for granted. He's here to upset the apple cart, really, and his whole world opens up if he beats me. But that's what I'm focused on, and I feel like the way things are going in the gym at the minute, I'll beat him, and I'll beat him convincingly. And
so, if and when that happens, then you've got the real big fights, which is why you came back, really.
Yeah, of course. I don't want to be having. After I lost to Santa Cruz, I had to have 3 fights before I fought for a world title. I don't want that have to happen again. I think that beat this guy Dominguez. I'm pretty sure that a Valdez fight is there for me. It's been as good as promised, but yeah, I just need to focus on this fight at the minute.
Yeah, that would be pretty tasty, you and Valdez.
A good fight, a great fight. I've always fancied it. Jamie's always fancied it. I think that kind of will whet the appetite of a lot of boxing fans. I think our styles will gel really well. He's a quality fighter, but they're the fights that I'm excited for and I get up for.
And Josh, possibly, it's been mooted that, you know, further down the line at some point, him and Santa Cruz, looks like that could happen.
Good fight, very good fight, similar styles, 2 busy fighters. Yeah, it's a good fight. I've been asked who do you think wins that fight. I've changed my mind a number of times. It's real hard one to call. Tough fight to call. It'll be very, very competitive, I think.
Yeah, and then Gary Russell Jr. will have his annual outing at some point
Yeah,
next year.
what a fighter. It's strange the way his career's going. Some rumours floating about that he may have had a bit of a falling out with Al Heyman and he may be linking up with Matchroom. I'm not sure. And that's all it is, really, rumours. But he's a quality fighter. And again, if the option came for me to fight Gary Russell, I would snap it up.
Yeah, I mean, these are the guys you've got to fight. If you want your dream, I guess all the guys with the belts and your dream is to unify.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. But my dream at the minute is to get back to being a world champion, call myself a world champion again. I haven't been able to do that in a few years now, but I think I can do it. I genuinely do. And if I win another world title, I believe I will. Well, I sound big-headed, but I think I've kind of cemented myself as Ireland's greatest ever fighter.
Wow, yeah, that's no mean feat. And then, again, looking further forward, I mean, Josh said he'd like to fight again, but in a unification match.
Yeah, look, of course, if I was in his position, I would be saying the exact same. Wait till I get a title, and then the fight's bigger. So that's what I'm determined to do: win a world title, and then potentially a fight with Warrington. Imagine that, a unification fight and a rematch with Warrington. Huge fight.
The hypothetical question here, but if you had, if say you got three more fights before you retire, who's the three guys you'd like to fight before?
Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, and Anthony Joshua. just for the dough.
Yeah. No. Okay, so once you got rid of them, who maybe in your division?
I think that the Warrington fights. Valdez, Warrington, Santa Cruz. Imagine them fights. The Valdez fight obviously can happen. We're both with top rank, and he's a world champion. If I win that fight, I am a world champion. Imagine, the trilogy decider with Santa Cruz and a unification. Imagine a rematch and a unification with Warrington. Imagine a rematch with Valdez. They're all huge fights.
Would you be bothered about where those fights took place? Any particular venue?
No, I've been kind of all over the world. I've boxed in Vegas, New York. I'm going to box in Philly. I've done Windsor Park at home. I've done the Odyssey. I'm happy to fight anywhere. I've been very privileged to have boxed where I have around the world. But I love the States, I do like the States.
And you'll be doing the Rocky Steps in a few weeks?
We'll do that. I've done it before when I was a kid. I can't remember too much about it, but I've definitely done it when I was about 15, I think. Jerry Story from Belfast took an amateur team over. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good trip.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to Jamie earlier on again, just about the whole you coming back, and he said he certainly wouldn't put any pressure. It's not his business to say whether you should or shouldn't fight. Jamie does look out for his fighters, doesn't he? I mean, that's been proven with Tommy. When the decision to pull him out, and then, as he said on the podcast, advising him.
Yeah, he does. He looks after the fighters, and he appreciates. He's been a fighter himself, and he knows the game, and he's been involved in some hard fights. So he knows what it's all about, and I think the decision in New York to pull Tommy out was absolutely spot on. I remember actually I was doing commentary for 5 Live, and I said to Steve Bunce beside me, as Tommy walked the corner, you might pull him out here, and he did. I think it was absolutely the right call. But that's what you need sometimes, a compassionate trainer who understands the game, and Jimmy does. So he believes I can win a world title. If he seen me coming back to the gym and kind of just going through the motions and not really having the hunger and desire, I'm sure he'd be the first to tell me, just go home and chill out with your family. Yeah,
I mean, that's the one thing I did think, because you've done the podcast, which is, as I've said, is brilliant podcast. You're doing a lot of media work. That was the only thing I thought. Is it distracting him a bit? Will that?
No, not really. And I kind of, obviously when I've come into camp, I've settled that stuff down and haven't been doing as much of it. But it's just given me something to do, really. And I had a long break from the ring after the Warrington fight, so I was away once a week doing the podcast, and the media stuff's good as well. So I enjoy it. I don't mind it. And again, it's potential work for me when this game is over. But while I'm boxing and I'm focused and I'm in a camp, I know what takes priority.
But then, I haven't, contradicted myself there, but having been in camps with you in the past or been in fight week, you're the kind of boxer who gets bored and likes to do some of the media stuff.
Honestly,
too.
it's just like, fight week can be boring. There's a lot of media obligations and stuff and things for sponsors, but I don't mind it, and I like to be around people. I'd rather be doing that than sitting in a hotel room on my own. So, yeah, I don't mind it at all.
And you mentioned you're obviously going to be fighting a lot in America now, which is great, but the flip side of that is you're a big family man, so that must be quite tough for you, that side.
We're going out to the States for about 3.5 weeks here, so that'll be the longest I've been away from my family in a couple of years. So that is the hardest part of this game, really, being away from my wife and kids. At the minute, I'm staying on my own as well. Stevie Ward's out of camp. It's pretty depressing and grim where I'm staying, but it's just part of the game, and you have to do it. And I feel like it's beneficial for me to be away and to be over here and focus on training completely.
What do you do now? It's not like you can just pop out and have a few pints, is it?
I don't do anything. I don't even have a remote for my TV. Someone robbed us.
What?
About 1.5 years ago.
God.
About a year ago.
I'm sure we can sort one out for you,
Stole
mate.
the TV from my bedroom, but the remote from the living room.
What?
And I've bought 3 universal TV remotes, and none of them work.
Oh, my God.
It's depressing. See just having to get up off the sofa and change the channel. Wait.
So what, is that what you do? You just spend the night getting up and down, switching
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's grim. Oh, honestly, it's grim.
Yeah. What about, do you ever pop around
No,
Jamie's?
they've been looking after me,
Right.
and they've been calling up. Jamie's been calling up for coffees and stuff, and
lad.
Nigel, good man, brought me to watch a Book of Mormon last night.
Yeah.
So I think they feel sorry for me, and they're looking after me.
If I was having this interview with you this time next year, sitting on this bench, where would you like to be? What position would you like to be in?
World champion. Yeah, that's it, and that's the objective.